What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Music NFT podcast. Brock and Aaron back at it again in 2024. The boys are back after a bit of a hiatus. Brock, how are you? How you feeling?
Yeah, great. We needed I'm actually really sick. I'm super excited to talk about music again. I've reignited my love over the holidays. And I think we just needed a break. We've both been we talked a lot about the back end of last year, how much we were working. And then you had where'd you go to? Hamilton Island?
Hamilton Island for Chrissy,
yeah.
Yes. That was beautiful.
Family.
Very relaxing.
I went to Wilson's Promontory with my brother and my daughter, and then just came back, and then we just got stuck into work, and then I was like, oh, hang on. we better go. we better record an episode of the podcast.
No. We got back and started working again. They were like, should we go to the Australian Open for a week?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, we did. We went to Melbourne. So we've been all over
here
Australia
and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're excited back, and we couldn't have come back on a better week. Oh, OMG or /UMG. It is a goddamn street fight out there. Universal Music Group and TikTok going head to head in open letters to the world, which is amazing. If you don't know, if you've been sleeping under a rock, Universal Music Group have removed all artists from the platform TikTok, which is crazy considering
that is crazy.
That for the last 5 years, all any of these labels have talked about is how to go viral on TikTok. They cite a few things. I've got a couple of excerpts here that I earmarked.
So this was from UMG's open letter to artists in the community about them removing the songs from TikTok.
So it basically just came out of nowhere. It was January 30th, and they went, we are now we're not dealing with this shit anymore. So it's 2 days ago they decided, and then a day after they sent this letter and posted it on to all the artists that are signed to Universal Music Group, which is going to be crazy too, because there's got to be backlash. I feel like even that artists are signed with Universal, there has to be some sort of backlash, but I'll leave that for continuous of the conversation as we get along. TikTok proposed paying our artists and songwriters at a rate that is a fraction of the rate that similarly situated major social platforms pay. TikTok accounts for only about 1% of our total revenue, which is already, you put that's such a big balls statement in there. We don't need TikTok.
But also just tell us what 1% of your revenue is.
Yeah. Well,
1% saying 1%, is trying to minimize how much it is, but just put a dollar value on it, you know?
Well, their revenue, for those out there that don't really know, they sit in that they make about between 2 and 3 billion a quarter, which is bananas. But to think about that in comparison, TikTok makes about 6 billion a quarter. So trying to big ball a person that's already making more money than you, it seems a bit silly. It's like the year 12 year 12 head student going up against the principal and going, my paper route earns more cash than you. Yeah, no, it doesn't, bro. It does raise concerns, obviously, that TikTok's going like this, but it's because, since COVID and even pre-COVID, every record label, every manager has been jamming TikTok down artists' throats. So TikTok, which has raised TikTok into a position over these last 3-4 years that they are just well, come at me. And and for those that don't know, TikTok's been developing a music business for the last 12 months as well, maybe longer, 18 months. It's probably been in motion for probably 24 to 36 months. So they are actively looking and probably going to sign artists to their own label. So they want to do something like this. They want to squeeze the majors and get them into deals where they can go, well, of course I want to have Justin Bieber on the label, on TikTok. That'd be sick. But I don't really want to pay you that much for it because we've kind of helped you. You've told us that we've helped you garner heaps of streams, we've helped you create virality.
Exactly. It's definitely been a win-win relationship for the artists, I would say.
100%. Everyone's talking about TikTok being evil, but really there seems like so many win-win situations that have come out of it. Second excerpt that I really liked here. TikTok is allowing the platform to be flooded. Like the words that they use in this is so pointed. It's like really just taking a hacksaw to it with AI generated recordings, even though one went on Spotify. Hello. Demanding a contractual right, which would allow this content to massively dilute the royalty pool for human artists. I love the term human artist as well. In a move that is nothing short of sponsoring artist replacement by AI. It is so chaotic. This it's like there is a war currently going on in Israel, and they're like, nah, this is a war that you need to take. Like, you need to focus on this. TikTok versus UMG. They would take it to the streets. AI, it's taking your jobs. TikTok are allowing it.
It honestly seems like the person who wrote this is like an 18-year-old girl who's like angry at a breakup. Like that's the wording. And they've asked their mum to like make it sound a bit more professional. That's the vibe.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up now live because I've got to read this as well. In response to the statement. Theirs is super short, which is perfect.
Yeah, TikTok's response was so good.
It is sad and disappointing that like this is like someone shouting over your fence when they're like your palm tree drops in there and they're like fuck you, and you're like nah fuck you. TikTok's response: it is sad and disappointing that Universal Music Group has put their own greed above the interests of their artists and songwriters. Despite Universal's false narrative and rhetoric, the fact is they have chosen to walk away from the powerful support of a platform, which, again, they're only using words that were put in their mouth by others. With well over 1 billion users, it serves as a free, again, that is correct, promotional and discovery vehicle for their talent. TikTok has been able to reach artist-first agreements with every other label and publisher. Clearly, Universal self-serving actions are not in the best interest of artists, songwriters, and fans. It is blood in the streets here. Like, I have to believe my bingo card for 2024 is now filled with which artist is going to leave Universal and be the first artist major signed to TikTok.
So, like, yeah, it's like the interesting thing is that, you know, UMG kind of, I guess, like if you looked at their talent pool, it's like all the artists who don't really need any more money, right?
Exactly.
So it's like to claim that like financial compensation is something that they're fighting for when, like, let's be honest, UMG is definitely not paying artists what they deserve anyway. Yeah. So it's like that's already a cop out. But the huge artists that don't need the money, it's like that's a null point. So like let's just throw that in the bin.
The Universal
second thing is like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, there you go.
Oh, that's on that point. Just to add a highlight to that point is there is at least 3 or 4 still outstanding court cases going on with UMG over royalty payments that haven't been paid or feel underpaid.
And so it's and then so that's kind of null and void the payment thing. The AI stuff is just like, you know, we saw that huge one of like The Weeknd that, like, you know, went onto Spotify and stuff, and that was like a huge kind of like turning point. But like the rest of the AI songs that I see on TikTok are just like
garbage,
just dumb, just dumb funny stuff. There's no one that's trying to like impersonate someone and put it out again, because we all saw what happened in that case. So it just seems like UMG are trying to like put their foot down on like this, trying to have like this moral high ground and like hoping that people support it. But I just don't think, I think people see through all of that shit.
You'd hope. Like, you hope.
Wow.
We fingers crossed.
We've seen a couple of responses of people going like, yeah, TikTok's a baddie. It's like, are they?
Like,
TikTok
they're not
TikTok
doing. They're not
is by no means like, you know, the holy standard, but like it is an incredible platform to be discovered, to go viral, to increase streams, to
incredible
get
free
paid. Like there's
platform.
just no doubt about it. So it's like it's really Universal are looking out for themselves and themselves only.
And to kind of highlight as well my personal thoughts that I feel a lot of artists have missed is this takes a lot of players out of the game on a platform that seeks virality. If you're an indie label, if you're an indie artist, and you're looking for a place to get your music on a platform and have it potentially go viral or be heard, I mean, not having Universal's artists on there, you know, thousands of
you've just made
gold
the playing
standard
field
artists.
a lot more interesting.
Yeah, you've just shored up the playing field a lot. You know, a lot better for a few people that want to try and get in that might have a sound that's awfully like The Weeknd, or might have a sound that's awfully like Drake's or Taylor Swift's or Billie Eilish's, and they're like, well, those fans are going to still be using this fucking platform, so why don't I just put my music out? So yeah, that for me, that is the rose-colored glasses view that people should be taking. I want. There's going to be. I guarantee there'll be some sort of court case within 12 months of like something happening crazy between TikTok and UMG, and I feel in my bones that they're going to make a play for an artist. Like this is going to be like Super League, you know, vibes, or the NFL splitting.
Yeah.
Like it's just like two brothers going head to head. Two
fighting
twins
over a toy.
Yeah, that are just like, nah, this was mine. I saw it first. Because and as I said, the problem is the music industry at large, not just UMG, has continued to inflate TikTok's ego.
100%.
And they've made their own worst enemy, unfortunately. And this is how it's going to play out for a little bit longer.
It'll definitely be very interesting to see what the aftermath will be on this. Brock's called for a court case, so we'll be hanging out for that one this year.
So
I want
excited.
it to be a live trial, like the
Yes.
Depp and Amber Heard one. That'd be sick.
It needs to be a Netflix
because we also that
sure.
we saw the TikTok CEO like getting grilled by Congress and stuff. Like we're surely gonna have one of those moments where UMG and TikTok are just gonna go at it in the courtroom. So that'd be sick. But on a similar vein, just some other news that happened while we were away is the music NFT platform Royal, who if you're not new around here, we've sung the praises of Royal for over a year now.
2 years.
It is run by the artist Blau, and he just recently released, he's calling an AI song generation experiment called Sonic. And basically, he made an AI music model using his own tracks, beats, you know, all kind of stems, that kind of stuff. And you can still actually do it if you go to sonic.royal.io. You can go on there and you can play around with the music tool and create AI generated songs using that tool, Sonic. But what he also did was he released 333 NFTs that gave you access to basically mint and release a song using the stem player. And what that did was, I think he picked 10 maybe after like a certain time period that would be uploaded to his Blau AI artist page on Spotify, and you own the rights, you earn all the royalties and the streams and all that kind of stuff yourself. So that was a really cool project that he released. Like the collection like sold out instantly.
Aaron got the times wrong.
I misjudged the time by an hour, and I just missed. You know,
well,
I should have been awake
holders, Aaron, and we'd be rich.
And instead, I was up at 5 a.m. So you know, but yeah, definitely a cool product, and you know, Blau is on the kind of this forefront
cutting edge
music technology. What can we make? What can we do? And I think this was a really successful experiment that he's done. So I'm very keen to see what he does next, because the tool itself is incredible. It is really, really cool.
And there's been a couple of releases, I believe, on Sound as well, from songs that have been made.
Oh,
this
really?
project
That's
as well.
cool.
Yeah, from people that have done it. They've just gone and released it on sound. So
Sick.
Web3 continues to be the bleeding edge of music industry. It's just once a month there's something that's like, oh, that's really cool. Spotify just released their fans thing. I think I'll save that probably for next episode. Then we go in a little bit more depth. I'll have a bit more research on it. So, but it's like you can see Web 2. You can see traditional music kind of going, there is a market for these things, and they're starting to like make some room, slowly catch up, which is super exciting. And I can't believe how such a simple test that was for Blau, and just how successful it was and how well received it was by the market. And then as we're talking about on the other end of the scale, UMG's like, TikTok's ruining the music industry with AI. Meanwhile, in Web3, Blau is the savior of music industry with AI.
It's heaven and hell. It's heaven and hell.
Yeah.
But that is it for us this week. It's good to be back. We will be back with another episode very soon. Thank you for listening. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe, share it with a friend. That would mean a lot to us. And we will see you on the next one.